Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Here's a quick look at our final table tonight. We have 9 players who have battled it out for this past week. 594 entries in this tournament. We are down to the final 9 here at the DogHouse Poker Club in Cypress, Texas. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Let's get right to it. Charles is going to start this first hand with a raise to 120,000. Our blinds are 30,000, 60,000, 60,000. Big blind Eddie. He's going to raise to 120, a little min raise with the king, queen of diamonds. Benny is in the seat 1. He is going to make a call here with the king, jack off. Peter looks like he's grabbing raising chips with his 2 6s, and he does raise it. He's going to come in with a 3-bet to 435,000. Action now back to our initial opener, Charles, with the king, queen of diamonds. He is going to lay it down. Action over to Benny, lays it down as well. And Peter is going to add 390,000 to his chip stack on the first hand of this final table here. There is a look at the chip counts there. Vlad and Ethan both started this final table with the exact amount of chips, 3.7 million. Vlad is going to open up the action here to 130,000 with ace-5 of hearts. Raul in the big blind with the ace-4 offsuit, not going to defend. You see those stats scrolling at the bottom of your screen there. Those are going to update after each hand. So those will be accurate stats at the completion of every hand. Those will be updated. We got some Peter fans in the chat. We got some Ethan fans in the chat. Let us know who you are here sweating tonight. At this final table, these players are playing for over $27,000 in United States currency.
Game on.
Josh is in the booth. How you doing, Benjamin? There's a Benny and Timmy fan. Andrew is a Tony fan. Andrew has $5,000 on Ethan Twin. Where did you book that bet? We love Ethan. Well, guys, if you are here sweating somebody other than Ethan and Peter, I'm going to need you to step up your virtual rail game here a little bit. We have overwhelming Peter and Ethan fans here. Peter going to go ahead and muck the ace tray of spades, does not want to get involved. Vlad now with ace 10 of diamonds. You're going to see a raise to 125 from Vlad here. Raul on the button with king 4 of hearts. 1.1 million in his stack. He is going to make the call. Benny with an ace in the big blind as well. See if he decides to defend. Mad Quick Chess in the Twitch chat. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. Long time no see. If you guys are just tuning in here, we are live from the DogHouse Poker Club in Cypress, Texas. We are down to 9 players out of 594 player field. These players are playing for $27,000 up top. We're going to see a flop here of 10-8 tray, 2 clubs. Top pair, top kicker for Vlad. I do have a bit of a story here about the way that Vlad got to this final table here after we complete this hand. We're going to see a bet here from Vlad. 210,000, the dealer says. About a third pot.
One raises.
All in here, I heard. Benny came in for the bluff. Vlad put him to the ultimate test by saying those magical 2 words, all in. Valiant effort there by Benny trying to take that one down with the bluff. Vlad happened to have the goods there. Shout out to my boy Russell, keeping these guys' drinks in the background. Absolutely. Russell does a great job taking care of our guests here at the DogHouse. And if you look at the bottom of the screen right now, you can see the listed payouts. First place, $27,460. 19 and change for second, 12.5 for third, 86 for fourth. Everybody has currently locked up $2,800 for ninth place, but they are all looking at that top place of $27,000. Back to action here. Ethan has woken up with aces. Flying American Airlines today, going to bump it up to 150 and is not going to get any action. That is the first appearance of the American Airlines tonight. And there are some updated chip counts down there. Vlad has taken the lead by about 700,000. Ethan right behind him at 4 million. 4.7 million for Vlad, 4 million for Ethan. Timmy is our short stack at the table, sitting with 310,000. He is going to need to make it happen. Benny's going to make the call on the button with the King-8 offsuit. Tony, 4-5 offsuit in the small blind. He's going to defend. Peter is going to look down at Ace-King of Hearts in the big blind. And if I was a betting man, I would wager that he is going to be raising. 255 is the raise from Peter here. Ace-King of Hearts. Likely just going to take this one down pre-flop. I live by the philosophy. It is always a good thing when you can win pots uncontested before showdown.
Water. I'll take one more, Chief. Same. Chief, please? Yeah, got it. Give me a few minutes after proof. Table 7. I hear you. 7.
Let's go, Benny, says Ray in the YouTube chat.
No. There's no reason to lie.
Raul under the gun +3, going to look down at Ace-10 of diamonds. Repping the Space City hat. Go Stros.
8 raises. 120,000.
120,000 is the raise.
One raises 200,000.
Benny going to put in a 3-bet to 200,000 here with Ace-Jack offsuit. Action folds back around to Raul. Now has to make a decision. Does only have 15 big blinds here. Makes the call, and we're going to see a flop here. 10-5-4. Favorable flop for Raul. He was a 3-1 dog. Now he has taken the lead, flopping top pair, top kicker.
One bets.
Raul is now a 4-1 favorite to win this hand. 100,000 bets and call from Raul. 6 of diamonds on the turn. Benny can only catch one of the 2 remaining jacks to take the lead here. Raul did check the previous street and call a bet. He's going to try to go for some thin value here now.
175.
175 is the wager. Benny just with ace high, no draw here. Gotta wonder how often ace high is good here. I imagine it is some of the time. He makes the call. Gonna need one of the 2 remaining jacks. Does not get it. The queen of diamonds hits the river. And Raul is awarded the check mark. If this hand goes to showdown, he will win this pot.
Bet 25.
2 1/4 is the bet now. Action over to Benny.
Have a pair of 10.
Benny makes the call with ace high. Going to get the bad news. 850,000 of Benny's chips going to Raul. Raul now has the more chips than Benny. There's been a lead change in the middle of the pack there. Timmy still at the bottom with just 310,000. He's going to be under the gun. Next hand, he will be big blind. We are playing 30,000, 60,000 with a 60,000 big blind ante. Timmy has a very important decision coming. If he does not win some chips, get it all in on this hand, he will be forced to pay the big blind next hand. And that's going to take about a third of his chips. A little more than a third of his chips for the big blind next hand. He does wake up with king 10. He's going to lay it down. Try his luck in the big blind. Benny with jack 10 of clubs reaching for call-in chips. Vlad in the small blind here with jack 5 offsuit. Makes the call. Ethan wishes he was playing blackjack right now so we could double down. Checks, and we are off to the races. We are going to see a flop here. Seven, 8, queen. Gut shot for Benny here. Pair of 8s for Ethan. Vlad with a couple backdoor draws. Checks around 6 of clubs on the turn. Vlad now has an open-ended straight draw. Increases his equity to about 10%.
That's 150.
150 on his open-ended straight draw here. Ethan does have the best hand, but it is only second pair in this blind versus limp scenario. He is going to lay it down.
Calls for 150.
Benny does make the call here. See, ace of hearts on the river. Interested to see how this hand plays out here. Benny does have the best hand, as we can see. However, that is only jack high. massive chip difference here in the two opponents. 4.4 million or 73 big blinds for Vlad. Benny with only 11 big blinds. Vlad has been the aggressor here. It goes check, check. We're going to go to showdown, and Benny is going to get some good news and much-needed chips.
Jack 10.
Benny is now back up to 20 big blinds. And Timmy, our short stack at the table, is now in the big blind. We are playing 40, 80, 80. Oh, next hand our blinds are up. He got lucky. He only has to pay 60,000 twice here. 60,000 for the ante and 60,000 for the big blind.
$60 to play. 7 fold. 8 fold. 9 fold. 50. 1 fold.
Peter looks down at the dead man's hands. Ace-8 offsuits. Reaching for raising chips.
Raises to 175.
175 is the new price of poker. Vlad on the button with Queen 10 offsuit. He is going to get out of the way. You do have to look at ICM here in this situation. Timmy with very little chips behind. However, Timmy has woken up with 2 jacks here. Ethan is going to fold, and Timmy is all in for his tournament life here with 2 jacks. Peter will likely make a quick call. And we are going to see 5 here. Timmy is in good shape. As you can see the percentages there. 65-35 in favor of Timmy's 2 jacks. Needs to dodge an ace. Can't dodge it. Now he's going to have to catch up with the jack. More outs now. Queen, 7, 5, 3, deuce of hearts are all available. And that is not it. And that is going to do it. Timmy is going to be our first elimination at this final table. Nice job, Timmy. Great playing, buddy. Making the final table of a field of 594 is no easy task. Timmy is going to go home with some money for his efforts today. He's going to take home $2,800. $2,800 for his 9th place finish. And everybody at this table just got a ladder. $900 pay jump from 9th to 8th. Everybody has $3,700 locked up now.
Eight folds, 9 folds. 1 fold. 2 folds.
Vlad is going to open up the action here in the cutoff to 160,000 with a pair of 4s. Ethan makes the call with an inferior pair of 3s. Eloy now in the big blind with king 10 of diamonds and 6.5 big blinds. All in, he says. $435 is the all-in amount from Eloy here. Vlad, our initial opener, in the cutoff with 2 4s. Looks like Vlad might be going for an ISO here. 850, he says. He is going to try to push Ethan out of this pot. Does not want to go multi-ways with an all-in here.
Okay.
Ethan does fold. And here we are at Showdown now. We are going to see 5 cards. Eloy will be risking his tournament life here with the king 10 of diamonds. And Vlad looking to be the recipient of Eloy's chips here with a pair of 4s. 55-45, basic flip, basically a flip here. Jack, 6, deuce, 1 diamond. King or a 10 for Eloy. King, 10, queen, more outs here. He could make Broadway with a queen. And it is the 10 on the river. And Eloy is going to stick around for a while longer. 1.1 million in his stack now. 18 big blinds on the come up.
All the way through the wire.
I wasn't even in it.
No, okay. If blinds are up 48.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Let me know.
Eloy on the button with 2 sixes. Going to get in all of those chips he just doubled up from. 18 big blinds in the middle of the table. Jack 4 for Raul is going to let it go. Charles, 5.5 big blinds. He is going to let it go as well. Look for a better spot than 9-4 offsuit. There's a look at the cumulative winnings. Since we have sat at this table, Peter has gained 820,000 since we started this final table. The big winner thus far, if you will. Have not seen much action from Charles or Tony so far at this final table. They have not appeared to have any hands to really get in the mix with yet. Charles is going to need to find some spots here pretty quickly. Tony here with 2 9s. Speaking of finding some hands to get in the mix here. Peter right behind him next to act with 2 jacks. Unfortunately for Tony, he does not have the same information that we do. So he's going to put in a raise to 180,000. Peter is going to look down at those fish hooks. And now we see Vlad behind Peter does have a pair as well. Peter just flat calling the open from Tony here with the 2 jacks. Vlad here with the pair of 5s, going to let it go. Eloy's going to let go of those pretty looking suited connectors. Benny makes the call, defends out of the big blind with the 5 deuce of hearts, and we're going to go 3 ways to a flop here. 73% favorite is Peter. Queen 6-4, rainbow, safe flop thus far. Gut shot here for Benny. Tony was our aggressor pre-flop, raising it up to 180,000 with his pair of 9s. See how he navigates on this flop here. Come out with a bet. Looks like 225,000. About a third pot bet here. Tank call from Peter. And he is going to lay down his gutter ball. Head up now to a turn card. The 6 of spades, pairing the board here.
Makes it 345. Two pair. Jackson chicken.
Huh?
Things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Still no change.
With those kinds of,
Oh
I think
my
I see.
God, man.
I ordered a 6. That's too expensive for pre-flop was about 100 and something. What do you bet on pre-flop? They're raised in pre-flop?
Yeah. On that hand, I actually put you on 7s or 8s and value all the winners. That's what I thought. That's well done. I didn't pick a good point.
Nine four. Four good. That's 50. four. 5 makes it 200,000. 7 4. 8 4. 9 4. 1 4. Okay.
Okay, wait.
200,000. Eighty to play. 5 4. 7 4. 8 4. 9 4. 1 raises 200,000.
820.
3 raises. I meant 2 raises for all age.
Better than mine.
Yes, sir. An honest poker, okay? Honest poker, okay? Next time, all y'all gotta do is ask. I'll tell y'all.
Nice, nice.
I'll start to know. Not a big fan. Big, very famous fan.
It opens now. Three raises to 175. Heads up. One in front. That's 175. Roll for 175. It's a $300.
$300,000 bet on the river here from Raul. Ace on the river. And Peter lets it go.
Watch it on the video highlight.
Peter here with good-looking suited connectors, the 6-7 of spades. Under the gun +2. Lets it go, playing it safe. Vlad here with the Jack-8 of diamonds. In the hijack, gonna put in a call. Excuse me, a raise to 160, min raise to 160 with the Jack-8 of diamonds. Putting pressure on the big blind here. Charles is our short stack at the table with just 2.5 big blinds. And he is going to defend and make the call. Leaving himself with 135,000 or a big blind and a half behind. With the 6 deuce of hearts. 10-5-5 on the flop here. And Vlad is going to put him to the test, put him all in. We're going to see a quick muck from Charles. There's a look at our chip counts. Charles down there with just 1% of the chips in play is coming in to the small blind here. We are playing blinds of 40,000, 80,000. That's going to leave him with 95,000 chips left. Gary Ellerman in the YouTube chat. How you doing, sir? Good to see you in here as always. We are watching the final table of the Alpha Dog 100,000 guaranteed. We are down to 8 players. They are playing for over $27,000 for first place. We're going to see a raise on the button here from Raul with a pair of 8s to 175. Charles, let's go. Benny going to put in the call with the 10-4 of hearts. And off to the races we go. King, Jack, 7, rainbow. Raul almost a 4-1 favorite here. 9 of hearts on the turn. Going to give a whole bunch of outs to Benny here as he turns flush draw, straight draw, and pair draw. The 8 of hearts on the river. Wow, what a card. That's going to give a set to Raul and a flush to Benny.
That's 250.
We got 250 bet from Benny and a quick call from Raul. Flush is tabled. Raul gets the bad news. And Benny is going to add about $500,000 to his chip stack.
That's for A, but it should have been one.
Favorable river if your name is Benny. Gary, I'm sorry to hear that you are stuck at work. I hope you are making the best of it watching this final table live stream with us. Poker is a great pastime, whether you're playing it or watching it. Didn't get to see Peter's hand there, but he folded it, so it must not have been very good. Vlad under the gun +1 with Jack-6 offsuit. Grabbing raising chips.
4 raises to 190.
190 he puts in. Raising it up with the Jack-6 offsuit.
5 fold, 7 fold, 8 fold, 9 fold.
Action folds back around to Tony. Shows the Jack-4 and mucks. How does he know? How does he know? Takes down the blinds. One play like that every orbit, and you pay for your blinds. Good for Vlad because the blinds aren't coming up. Now he's under the gun.
Oh, Jack, I was good. I'm fucking on 2 now. I'm on 2.
Just get it, Tony. Just get it, bro.
Vlad with another jack. Going to fold this one. We found his range, guys. Jack-5 is playable. Jack-deuce is not. Ace-10 of clubs here for Eloy. Undergun +2, 13 big blinds behind. Going to put in a raise.
175.
175,000 with the ace-10 of clubs. Benny's going to make the call. Peter's going to look down at King-5 offsuit and the big blind. 95,000 here to defend. Does make the call. And off to the races we go.
Got 3 different draws.
King-5-6, favorable flop if your name's Peter. Plays it sneaky, checks it. Benny here going to be taking the bait, putting in the bet. 150,000 from Benny on the button. Peter with a very disguised 2 pair here, top and bottom pair. First act on the flop, he checked it around. See if he comes in for a check raise here. And that would be a check raise.
3 raises, 435.
435 is the amount of the check raise. Benny shakes his head. Seems frustrated. How does he have it? What does he connect with on this flop? The answer is King 5 for top and bottom pair. Vlad and Peter neck and neck, both with 4.4 million in chips. Ethan right behind him with 3.9 million. Raul leads the middle of the pack, and Charles, our short stack, with 95,000 in chips.
Five folds. 7 folds.
Ace Jack for Raul here. Makes a call.
9 folds. 1 fold. 2 folds.
Jack 7 of hearts for Peter in the small blind. He's going to defend.
3 calls.
Vlad in the big blind with the 4-3 offsuit. Checks his option.
Got 3 to the flop.
3 players to a flop here, our dealer says. Queen 10 deuce. Flush draw for Peter. Gutter ball to Broadway for Raul.
Three bet.
You bet 75.
Yeah, minimum was 80,
minimum
right?
is 80.
When did you bet 75?
Did I check?
This action is here.
Oh, yeah. I thought they checked.
No, there was
You
no,
did
there was no,
you
I
just
will
bet
control,
100.
I will control the action. I'll let you know when it's on you, okay? The action is here for 100,000.
We did have 100,000 bet here from Peter. It looks like Raul acted out of turn and threw in some chips. Now makes the call. 8 of hearts on the turn. Peter drills it, no waiting. Raul does have a few outs here, though. He does have 4 to the nut flush. We see at the top right-hand corner of the screen, he has 3 live outs. And the 9 is not one of them, but it does give him a straight. This could be bad news for Raul.
Three bets, 230.
230 is the bet from Peter.
8 raises.
That is a
Raises.
raise.
8 raises.
230, so
Look at
it
him.
should be 460.
I'm in the floor. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second.
10,000.
1 second.
Looks like we're going to get a floor ruling here.
All right. I have a bet. 130.
130 or
230. 230. I have a raise here. He opened his hand. He wasn't aware of the raise. So he one chip to call. Well, he did, once he seen that it was a raise, he one chip.
Okay.
He's calling.
Turning his hand face up does not kill it.
Okay. Okay. So the raise was to
450. 460.
gotta be at least 460. Gotta be at least 460. That is correct. Because it was a 230 back.
Gotta be what? 460?
At least 460. 10 more.
What is that right there?
That's 450.
I'm gonna phone.
No, but
You're raised.
you're
Oh,
go ahead.
obligated to make it. Yeah, 10,000 more. Perfect.
All right.
10,000.
I mean, I didn't win.
Okay.
All right, so it looks like we had a little bit of confusion here. Raul put in raising chips. It was not quite enough to make it a raise. He was 10,000 short. Peter was not aware that he raised. He thought that it was a call. So he immediately tables his hand, which was a winning hand. And then he was allowed to call the min raise with his flush. And then he won the pot. We are on to the next hand. Another nice hand there for Peter, skyrocketing him up to 5.2 million in chips. The rich get richer.
Seven fold. 8 fold. 9. 1 fold.
Sevens here for Tony in the cutoff. Looks like Team Peter is exiting the virtual rail to go to bed. At least some of them anyways. Well, good news for y'all. If you would like to see how this finishes out and you can't stick around and watch it tonight, this will be uploaded to YouTube. By the time you wake up tomorrow, you can rewatch this entire stream, or you can just skip straight to the good parts and see how it ends. We will be here live until we have a winner tonight. Back to the action here. Tony going to raise it up to 340,000 with his sevens out of the cutoff. Action back to the big blind here. Ethan last to ask.
On this poker. 10 this time?
7. When I ask y'all, y'all make
Ethan's going to fold, and Tony is going to take it down.
you guys.
Okay, so if you're not going to be currently involved in this hand, go ahead and start a small break. 7 minutes. I'm going to race off the orange chip. And this is going to be the last hand before we take a quick break here, guys. We're going to race off some orange chips. Players going to get some beverages, some snacks perhaps, stretch their legs.
We have it all in.
And Charles is going to get it all in. 95,000 with the king, 6 of diamonds. He is under the gun +1. If he did not get it in now, he would be forced to a couple hands later. Austin in the YouTube chat, thank you for the kind words. Much appreciated. I do try my best. Chris asks, is that his Lucky Salmon Masters quarter zip? Well, I cannot speak to the luck or lack of luck of that quarter zip Salmon Masters jacket. But I can confirm that is a salmon-colored Masters quarter zip jacket. Very snazzy. It matches our 100,000 chips here at this final table. Those pink chips are worth 100,000 each.
Right. 8, 7, 12,
Put that on this one.
All right, Vlad is going to 3-bet it up to 200,000 here. Eloy is going to make the call with Queen Jack offsuit. We're going to have a small side pot. 210,000 is going to be in a side pot. Charles is all in for that main pot that you see there right underneath the button. Ace 9-4 with 2 diamonds. Favorable flop for Charles. 72% equity in this hand.
4 moves all in.
Vlad flops a flush draw as well. Gets the rest of his chips in.
Fold.
Eloy is going to get out of the way. Vlad's going to take down the side pot. And Vlad is going to need to catch a jack or a deuce. We can see at the top right-hand corner of our screen, there are only the deuces remaining in the deck. 3 outs. And there it is. A pair of kings for Charles is going to lock it up. He is going to get a triple up. Much needed. Back from the depths is Charles. 5 big blinds now. Still needs to put some work in and ladder up a bit, but he is back in there. Alrighty, guys, we are going to take a small break here while we race off these chips. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
$350. $350 over there too. $50 over here. 50.
Oh, man, that was a tough one.
50. Yep. 25, 25.
One more hard to do that.
Also,
500, 1 million, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, 2 million.
Yes, 50.
Gonna be done in 45 seconds.
probably. I already counted it. Oh, should I? Oh, okay, okay. Yes. I haven't done the detail.
$5.2 and a quarter. We're going to take just 1 more minute, make sure we got these chip counts updated after the race off. I'm going to let the clock run. I'm just going to restart the level, okay?
Hanging in there, man.
250. 1,250,000. Is everybody? Oh no, he's gonna reset the clock.
All right, guys, I'm going to restart this level. Blinds are 50, 100, 100.
You are. It's gonna be 1-1.
You're replacing it? Is everybody going back here?
King of Diamonds is exposed. We have an all in.
My King of Diamonds inspire you? The only one left?
Yeah.
Close to them.
Something was off because I had 400,000 flat.
That's right. You gotta be, your stack your field.
Oh yeah.
Taxes, man.
With the interest, I gotta get burned. I got it started form.
Eight close.
Sure, raise.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mario. Make sure you take care of it.
all in.
Yeah.
Good voter call. Huh?
Told you, let's see.
I didn't want to muck, and then I mean, like, oh, your hand's dead.
Back in action. Here we go. All in for Eloy. 8-9 offsuit. 550,000 left. He's all in and at risk for his tournament life. Benny here with an ace. Ten big blinds. Benny lets it go. Tony lets it go as well. And Eloy is going to take this one down.
Okay to play.
Hand number 31 of this final table. Vlad with the ace-5 offsuit, going to raise it up. Looks like 225.
7-4. One fold.
2 threes for Charles. He's going to muck those. Tony, let's go with the 8-9 offsuits. Peter in the big blind going to defend with the Jack-5 of diamonds.
Heads up.
Peter is a 3-1 dog. After the flop comes out, he's a bit more than a 4-1 dog. A check from Peter. Both players flopping a pair of 5s here. Peter with a backdoor diamond draw. Vlad with a backdoor heart draw. Bet and a call. 8 of diamonds on the turn. Outs for Peter. A bit more equity in the hand now. Will need to catch a jack or a diamond to catch up here. Check, check. River. The 7 of hearts. Check mark for Vlad. If this hand goes to showdown, he will win this pot.
Three bet, 275.
$275 on the river here from Peter. There is a 4-liner to a straight out there. Any 4 or 9 would make a straight. Not a terrible time to take a stab at this on the river by Peter. I like this bet here a lot. I think maybe a little bit bigger sizing. But he has definitely bet enough to make Vlad at least think about it. Bet 275 into about $1 million. The 2 chip leaders here battling it out. And a fold from Vlad. The river bluff from Peter.
Showing everybody?
Shows him. Jack 5.
They're 5.
Vlad made a bad laydown, and now he knows it. Nice play there by Peter.
When I play him, like I said, he gives a play. Straight, he gives a play.
On to the next we go. Blinds are 50,000, 100,000 with a 100,000 big blind ante.
I was telling you every time I play against you, I get it straight, you get a say you get a blast, but over there you're terrified.
Sometimes all you need is just terrified.
Yeah.
And a dream.
The dream and the pipe. Pipe dream. Deuces, 5s and deuces never loses, I guess.
Alright, I won't do it now.
They got jinxing you on now. Forget I'm into about pedophile.
Ace 4 of diamonds for Eloy here. 8 big blinds, and that is enough to get him all in.
all in for 8 minutes.
Peter here, ace king of hearts on the button.
3 calls to 800.
Makes the call with the ace king of hearts. Ethan with a pair of deuces in the big blind. Sandwiched in between an all-in and a flat call on the button. I think you just have to get away from these deuces here. As he does, we're going to go to showdown. Ace King of Hearts versus Ace 4 of Diamonds. Eloy is all in for $800,000 and his tournament life. 1.9 million in the pot. 19 big blind pot here.
All the reds.
Nut, flush draw, and a wheel draw. What a flop for Eloy, flopping 40% equity. 3 of spades. 7 live outs for Eloy. And the 9 of diamonds is one of them. 19 big blinds now has Eloy. All in for his tournament life. Makes the nuts to stay alive. Nines here for Vlad on the button. He's going to raise it up and take it down. Shows him. That's one of those shows where you just flip your cards over and say, I'm not always bluffing, guys. Sometimes I actually have a real hand.
No, baby.
Tony.
Aces for Charles. He has been patiently waiting at this final table all night long, battling to stay in there and stay alive. And now, his first raise, I believe, of this final table that wasn't an all-in with American Airlines. Peter makes the call with the ace-10 offsuit. Action now back to Raul. 5 deuce offsuit in the big blind. Gonna lay it down, and we're gonna be head up to a flop here.
Probably.
Charles an overwhelming favorite. King, king, queen on the flop. Peter does flop a gut shot to Broadway. There are 3 jacks remaining in the deck that he could hit.
Nine bets, 125.
125 from Charles here. Betting small to get some thin value. Gets a call from Peter. Ten of diamonds on the turn. That might be bad news for Peter here. Check, check. Off to a river we go. The 9 of clubs. It does put a 4-liner out there. Any jack makes a straight. We're going to see another thin value bet here from Charles. Very likely to get paid off, and it does.
We have 2 pair aces and king.
Nice hand here for Charles. Crawling back. At one point, he was down to 1.5 big blinds. Now coming back. Winning a pot with aces here. Getting value on almost every street.
You want to talk about ITM?
17 big blinds he has now.
Thank you. Okay. Raises, 250. Fold. Fold. 9. That makes it 300,000. They will go away.
Queen Jack here for both players.
50,000.
We are most likely going to chop this pot if Ethan can find the call button here. Eloy does have some backdoor draws, though. If it comes heart-heart, he would win this pot outright. As it stands now, if Ethan can find the call button here, they will most likely be chopping this pot. Ethan counting out some pink chips here. Ethan does not call, and Eloy is going to be the benefactor of 800,000 chips added to his stack. There's a look at our cumulative winnings. Peter, at the top still, has won the most since the start of this final table with 2.1 million.
$77? I'll compromise and go to 70.
Peter and Vlad still hanging out at the top of our leaderboard here. Over 4 million in chips each.
Raise this.
Tony, we got a Tony fan in the chat just in time to see him make the call with Queen Jack offsuit to see a flop of 7-4 trade, 2 diamonds. Pair of 3s here for Vlad. 3-1 favorite to win this hand. Tony does have first action. Checks it over to Vlad. All in is Vlad. Tony here, just 6.5 big blinds remaining. 4 outs if he were to call. Any queen or jack would do.
Best hand.
Thank you.
How about
Your high call.
I have a better. They don't have more.
Yeah.
Vlad wasting no time, raising it up to 200,000 under the gun with a 7 offsuit. Benny on the button with king 6 of diamonds. And just 8 big blinds. Makes the call as he opens his Topo Chico. Jack 7 tray rainbow. Pretty good flop for Jack 8 offsuit in the big blind. Peter going to come out with a donk bet here. See a call from Vlad, a fold from Benny. Deuce of clubs now on the turn. $350,000 now from Peter, putting the pressure. I love to see this at final tables. Chip leader versus chip leader here. 2 at the top of the pack. No fear, putting the pressure on. No brakes, all gas.
call?
Call here from Vlad. River, the 8 of clubs, completing a backdoor flush draw, completing a gut shot straight draw. Action now on Peter with the best hand.
He's at 425.
425 is the amount Peter decides to go with here on this river bet. This has become quite a large pot here. 2.5 million in the middle. Deep into the tank, Vlad is here. Trying to figure it out. Shakes his head, gets calling chips together. Makes the call.
Call. We're looking at 2 pair. Jackson 8.
Nice hand there from Peter. Navigated well, as it would turn out. There's a look at our payouts now. $27,460 up top for the person who ends with all the chips. Peter now taking a large lead here, almost 6 million in chips. Taking control. Ace Jack for Raul. 3.5 bigs. He's going to get that in the middle. All in and at risk. Benny all in right behind with the king, queen. But it is Raul who is at risk. Everybody else folds. Ace Jack versus king, queen. We do have a flip on our hands here.
Hey,
Here we are going to see the flop. queen high flop. Benny takes a commanding lead here. Raul is going to need to catch an ace and only an ace. Oh, that is going to do it. Raul is going to be our 8th place finisher.
It's like 3 games, they're gonna hold.
Great playing, Raul. He is not going to go home empty-handed, however. He will take home $3,700 for his efforts. 7th place out of 594 runners.
Coming in? Yeah. All right, guys, you got to feel the new deal.
Can't be big on shooting.
No, I was. Welcome there, man. That was 9-4. Gotta be good. One raise is 250. Two folds, 3 folds, 4 folds.
Ace 5 here for Ethan, facing a raise from Benny. Benny bumped it up to $250,000 in the hijack with King 7 of diamonds. Ethan is going to defend. We're going to see a king high flop. 2 outs for Ethan, one of the 2 remaining aces.
That's 250.
250 now from Benny with top pair.
Good luck, brother.
Hey,
I'll be your leading. Yeah.
good luck. Man.
Have fun. Good luck.
Thank you. Take care.
Another man over here. If you don't win, I hope this one wins. Good luck. If you don't win, I want this one to win. Tuesday. Seven check. 3 players.
Blind versus limp. King 10-4 on the flop. Eloy's going to take the lead.
Check. That's 175.
Six of hearts on the turn. Outs for Benny. 9 on the river is definitely one of them. And Benny is just going to drill the nuts on the river. 125,000 from Eloy, now raised to 475 from Benny. How can you put him on a hand like this? Listen to this action pre-flop. Benny defends. The flop, Benny bets 175 with 8 high. Eloy makes the call with a pair of kings. Check around on the turn. Drills the 9 on the river for the backdoor runner, nut straight. And now he's raising. How does Eloy get away from this one? He does find the fold button. Nice hand there for Benny. And there's a look at our VPIP at this final table. Benny, 35% VPIP, leading the pack. If you're unfamiliar with the term VPIP, stands for voluntarily put in pot. That is the percentage of times that a player has voluntarily placed their chips into the pot. So basically, anytime they are not a blind, anytime they open, anytime they call, they raise, that would add to that percentage. Charles is going to get a walk here. Had a pretty good looking hand too. King, queen of hearts. Nothing wrong with a walk though. Tony now our short stack at the table with just 600,000 in chips remaining. Blinds are 50,000, 100,000, 100,000 big blind ante. Just 6 big blinds for Tony. He's going to need to make something happen. He is under the gun here, which means he'll be big blind next hand, forced to put in 200,000. He does wake up with ace-7 offsuit under the gun here. He's going to have to get these chips in the middle, I believe.
All in.
All in. There it is. Ace-7 offsuit. Tony is all in and at risk. Our short stack at the table looking for a double up.
Fat. Very fat.
It is going to fold around. And there we go. Tony just paid for his blinds for this round.
Good.
That one raised to 250. Fold. Great player.
I have that. What about input for the five? That was a perfect block. For five. See it? Any high court? Okay, I'll move in. On the smoke room. Y'all can watch.
Seven raised for 250. Nine.
What do you think? 1.4.
1.41. Great player.
You would have had five again, I wish. Or it's ahead of your five, not of your 10.
Five points. Call. Call.
said one time.
One bet. 250.
Yeah. Having fun, man. This has been a good match. Everybody's going up and down, you know?
He's the only one who's been quiet on this table. Everybody else keep talking, keep talking. He was quiet.
I'm having fun, though. I'm having fun. I'm just happy to be here.
We're happy to have you, my friend.
Here's where we find. Oh, yeah.
3 raises for 325.
Jack 10 of clubs for Vlad in the small blind here. Peter raised it up on the button to 325,000 with the famous 8-5 offsuit. Can't think of a hand I would want more in this scenario.
Four raises for 950.
950. Coming in with a 3-bet is Vlad. Peter's going to have to lay this one down.
Seven.
One raises to 250.
$250 from Benny. Under the gun +1 with Jack 9 offsuit. Raising it up. Raising it up and taking it down. There's a look at our chip counts. Everybody with over 1 million. Papa Pigeon asks, can we get the Doghouse couple in the booth, Mario and Arnie? That would be quite the duo. I would pay good money to hear that. Maybe one of these days we can make that happen. In other news, blind versus blind here. All in a snap call. Queen 8 offsuit for Eloy. Ace Jack offsuit for Charles. About a 60-40% here, with Charles being the 60. Eloy is all in and at risk. Charles does cover him. And here we go. Pot is right. Here comes 5. Ace in the window. No waiting. Eloy did flop a queen. He's going to need a queen or an 8. Any queen, any 8 would do. And the deuce of clubs is not going to do it for Eloy. He is going to be eliminated in 7th place. Great showing here from Eloy. 7th place out of 594 runners. He's not going home empty-handed. For his efforts, he will take home $4,620 United States dollars.
No.
Ethan's going to take this one down with a raise. Ace deuce offsuit. Bet and take it. All 6 remaining players have locked up $5,550. The next person eliminated will win $5,550. They are still playing for that first place payout of $27,000. Ace queen offsuit for Peter under the gun. How will our chip leader proceed?
He raises to 300,000.
He's going to throw 3 pink chips into the middle. Action folds around to the small blind. Benny folds the 10-4 offsuit. Tony, ace 4 of diamonds. 12 big blinds, ace 4 of diamonds, facing an open to 300,000. Makes the call. Off to a flop we go. Ace 9 tray, trouble for Tony. Drawing to just 2 outs. Check, check. Sneaky play here by Peter. I like it a lot. 6 of clubs on the turn. Does not change anything for us. Tony checking again. Peter's going to try to get some value out of this. 250,000 is the bet. Quarter-size pot bet here. Makes the call. 7 of spades on the river. Check mark for Peter. If we go to showdown, he will be the winner of this pot. Peter pretending he doesn't remember what he has. Checks his cards again. I smell a bet coming. 400,000 is the bet, and a snap call from Tony, who is going to see the bad news. Ace, no kicker, no good. 400,000 on the river. That is going to leave Tony with just 5.5 big blinds left. Charles making quite the comeback here. He was our short stack to start the final table. Remained short stack for quite some time, and he has now clawed his way back up.
Serious?
There's those 2 magic words. All in is Tony. 5 big blinds and a queen, 5 of clubs. Peter sitting on 6 million. He is supposed to call with any 2 cards here. You're not even supposed to look. You are supposed to put some chips in the middle and try to get lucky. 8 deuce is a pretty terrible starting hand, though. Might be hard to fault him for a fold here. Mad Quick Chat's popping in the Twitch chat. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for watching. does make the call. Tony is all in and at risk. Queen 5 of clubs. Called by the 8 deuce offsuit of Peter. 1.5 million in the pot.
I need some refund.
This hand will quite literally determine the outcome of Tony's tournament. Queen in the window. Commanding lead now for Tony. And that is going to be enough to seal the deal. The full double for Tony. Much needed full double. Back up to 12 big blinds now. Not much of a hit to Peter's stack. Still has 5.5 million to work with. Kings for Tony. Wow, waking up with kings after he gets that double up on the button. Facing an open from Benny to 325,000. 2 red kings for Tony. Tony's going to put in a raise to 750,000, committing half of his stack to this hand. Action now back to Benny, our initial opener. 18 big blinds remaining, Jack 9 offsuit to the muck.
Seems a lot of Oh, 9, 10. Wow.
Shows the kings.
See 9 folds. One's been raised. 250. 250.
You might want to call. When you see that window up there, everything you need in the
check.
You ain't third place.
One that's 200.
200,000 is the bet from Benny with Queen High. Good enough to take it down. Things are getting serious here at this final table. Every hand matters. King Jack of Spades for Peter. Raising it up, calling 125. Three ways to the flop here. Blind versus limp. Ace, Jack for Rainbow. Peter flopping best.
Yeah. If you fold, you'll be on breakout.
Last time.
That's before the break.
Wake up.
Hold your own break. Hey, are we racing off the 25,000? Full raise it, 275. All full. One full.
Benny checks it over. Vlad's going to bet 300,000. We're going to see a quick call from Benny. Six of diamonds on the river. On the turn.
Okay, one check.
Benny checking again.
I tried that. Jack was a big talk for a while. Lucky Salmon Masters quarters. If it's lucky, but it is a sand colored quarters.
Big bet incoming from Vlad here.
That's 750.
750,000. More than a third of his stack if Benny was to call here. He does have the best hand. Can he find the call button? The rest of the table has started a break. These two are the only two remaining at the table. Everybody else is taking a short break. Wow, Benny shows the queen and lays it down. And Vlad sends his cards flying into the muck. Oh, shows an ace first. All right, guys, we will be right back. We're going to take a quick break.
What happened? You called a turn? Or did you call a turn?
Pair of queens. You should have ate some hearts. I haven't seen you play a flop.
Sure.
Yeah, right? I mean, that's awesome. No. You say that I guess you had that one hand with eights. It's
Been all pre-flop.
yeah, that's great.
This guy, he's folded his whole fucking way. He hasn't played nothing.
I mean, these happens on the button.
I know, it's a perfect move. That's why I'm looking around, I'm like, is nobody else trying this? Because he's gonna fold. And if he
I've raised his button multiple times, and I can't wait to see what he has. I feel like he's over folding.
yeah, he probably had missile hands and he's just keeps folding. Like he's just in his mind he's looking to flip aces, kings, something like that. Other than that, he's not gonna play.
What time do these things typically end? Should be
4 a.m.
4? 150.
That's up to you guys.
20-minute level.
Be 75, 150, 150. 400,000. How much folding can you do? Not to get crazy, but
He's got 3, 7. One 8.
no, he's got money.
What?
Oh no, he's got money.
He's got 1, 2 million.
Yeah, he's got like
1 8.
nobody's looking to do any ICNs or anything like that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Please.
I mean, chip lead is going to get a substantial arm.
Let's fucking do it. Thanks, man.
All right, Pete. 150 to play.
It's paused. Don't like the race. Told him.
3 raises. 325. Five play. Fold. 1 fold.
We are back in action here. Tony in the big blind with 10-8 of diamonds. One of my favorite hands. In Corpus Christi, that hand is known as the Herminator. Fun fact for y'all. Even if you didn't want to know it, now you know. 9-6 tray on the flop. Gutter ball for Tony. Check from Tony. We're going to see a bet here from Peter. 150,000. Small bet, the minimum amount. Call from Tony. Queen of spades on the turn. Peter now with the gutter ball. Still the best hand with king high.
No smiling.
Check, check. Free river card. And it is the 7 of spades. Gin for Tony. Tony is going to be betting here. The question is how much? 350,000 is the answer. And a fold from Peter. 1.5 million going into Tony's snack. 2.7 million for Tony now. Peter with 30% of the chips in play.
Right. Four raises, 350. 5 fold. 950.
Vlad's going to open up the action here under the gun to 350,000 with ace-4 offsuit. Action now to Peter with the ace-9 of clubs in the big blind. We might see a 3-bet here. Just a call, though, from Peter. We're going to see a flop of 7-4 deuce. Vlad flopping best.
That's 300.
300,000 is the amount from Vlad. Call from Peter. Off to the turn. We're going to see the 5 of clubs. Sweat card. 14 outs now for Peter. Any 9, any 3 he would chop, or any club he would win. The 8 of diamonds on the river is not one of those 14 outs. Check mark for Vlad.
Check. 3 checks. Four checks. Tail forward. Five, four. 9 raises for 300,000.
Charles going to bump it up to 300,000 out of the hijack with King 10 offsuit. Vlad defending the big blind with the 8-6 offsuit. Jack 8-7 on the flop.
4 checks. 9 checks.
Check, check. 4 diamonds now on the turn. Six on the river, 2 pair for Vlad.
That's 300. 9 checks.
Bet and take it goes the river.
Huh? Andy? Andy.
9 checks. One bet 350.
Benny is going to open it up in the hijack to 350,000 with ace 4 of hearts. Peter folds the worst hand in poker. Vlad folds. Ethan likely right behind him.
Three calls to one pack.